see you, my friend.
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Sunshine Law, notice having been published according to law, with a copy on file in the city clerk's office and a copy posted on the bulletin board in City Hall. Councilman Battaglia.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Here.
Councilman Sims.
Here.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Here.
Mayor LaBrosse.
Here. Could everybody please rise for these flag salute, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. No approval of minutes, Madam Clerk?
No.
None?
They're not.
Okay, City Manager's report.
Mayor, I have a very, very short report tonight, as the hour is late. Just two quick things. Again, I know I reported on this at the last meeting. We continue our tug of war with the DOT on the Summit Avenue light. As we speak, the light is energized, but for some reason having to do with the utility, they can't flick the switch, but the power has now been brought to the light. I don't know what else to say. I'm being told any day this light will be operational, so I would ask everybody to be somewhat patient on it. The second thing is the construction has started on the county new agency building. It's a major project. We had a meeting on site last week to deal with police, fire, and EMS issues during the construction, because they're working on a real tight site, and they had to also ensure the safety of the old courthouse and the sheriff's department that's still operating. So everybody, there's been an awful lot of cooperation between the county and the city and the various departments, and I believe everyone has been invited to the ceremonial groundbreaking, which will be tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And that's the extent of my report tonight, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Resolution number 365-13, final adoption of ordinance 19-2013. An ordinance amending ordinance number 2-82, section 127-4, entitled Violations and Penalties of the Code of the Hackensack of the City of Hackensack Municipal Code. I'm sorry.
This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing. Will someone so move?
I'll offer.
Offered?
Second.
Second. Okay, would anybody from the public like to come up and speak on this ordinance and this ordinance only?
Is this the ordinance on handicap?
Yes.
First of all, I would like to say you guys did the right thing by, I see the penalty phase has been increased to, what, $250 fine plus,
50 for the first offense.
and the second offense, 90 days community service. has been-
Possibility of 90 days.
Possibility. I know I have a handicapped member in my household. I know that it's a tragic thing when you go to park and you see some, to avoid profanity, some jerk parking in a handicapped spot. So I think you did. The only question I have to ask is there also a state motor vehicle act for handicap parking? There is.
Yes.
Is that penalty less, the same, or more than, or you don't know of the?
It is exactly the same.
It's exactly the same. It has 90 days of community service also?
That is correct.
Oh, good, great, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance only?
Unfortunately, my memory is poor, but I was out today and I saw a sign for the penalty for the handicapped was $255, and I was wondering if there was some kind of a change.
Excuse me, could you give your name to the clerk, please, and your address?
And Stern, 151 Prospect.
Thank you. It was in Hackensack, a sign for $255? Was it on private property or on a public street?
Does it matter?
Yes, I think it does matter. Different ordinance, I think. Not sure. but
probably
If
was
I
on-
may,
ahead.
one of the reasons this ordinance is even being acted upon is to bring some of our fines were not in compliance with the state. So there may be some incorrect signage out there. Once this is passed, it would all be brought to the 250. There were some signs
This
that
is
we
the
know.
first time I have ever seen an amount other than 250.
Okay, 255, huh?
Yeah, I've
Isn't
never
that
seen.
weird?
Yeah, really, it sounds, you know. I don't know where, what, can you tell me where it is?
If I could, I would.
Okay.
When I remember where I was, I'll let you know.
It gets worse.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance only? Seeing none? A motion to close?
I'll offer.
Offered. Seconded by Mr. Battaglia. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 19, 2013 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Okay, could I get a motion to, a motion, please?
I'll offer.
Offered.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Sims. Roll call?
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sim.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Okay, we have before we move on this next ordinance, Steve, have you spoken with the tax appeal attorney on?
Yes,
On
I
this
had a
next one?
meeting with him, you know, I was gonna report that, we ran out of time. I had a meeting with him today, and he's working as quickly as he can to come to you collectively with a report on, first, those issues that are part of the bond ordinance, and then the
Right.
rest of the whole tax appeal issue. Obviously, he was not ready for tonight.
Okay, so
I'm
we're gonna,
assuming that you're gonna wanna postpone this.
we're gonna postpone,
Okay. All right, so first we're pulling resolution number 366-13, which was supposed to be introduction of the news rack ordinance, so we're pulling that one from this evening.
Yes.
Okay, and we are also pulling resolution number 367-13, which is
Correct.
the introduction of ordinance 21, 2013, a refunding bond ordinance.
correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Resolution number 368-13. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack that the bills in the following accounts be and are hereby ordered paid. Current fund, $9,217,467.03. Escrow, $8,819.02. Grants, $41,337.82. Payroll, $184,445.13. Public parking system, $7,240.33. Capital, $277,776.39. Trust account, $63,772.78. And I understand that this evening the council would like to pull the invoice received from Joseph Ziza for
From
legal
Ziza Hitterich, so there's a
services.
question on the bill that we want answered before we pay that bill.
Okay, so that invoice is going to be pulled from the bills list. Okay, Ziza, okay. Okay. So we just need a motion.
Okay, she needs a motion.
Have a motion, please? Sorry.
Okay.
Offer.
I'll second it.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Who was the offer? Was Dave?
Dave
Oh, it
offered.
was, okay.
Dave
Okay.
offered, Kathy.
Okay, great.
All right.
Okay.
Actually, roll
Councilman-
call?
Councilman Battaglia?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilman Sims?
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman?
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus?
Aye.
Resolution number 369-13, whereas state statute provides the Director of the Division of Local Government Services may approve the insertion of any special item of revenue in the budget of any county or municipality when such item shall have been made available by law and the amount was not determined at the time of the adoption of the budget. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Hackensack and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, hereby request the Director of the Division of Local Government Services to approve the insertion of an item of revenue in the budget of the calendar year 2013 in the sum of $1,000, which is now available from the Puffin Foundation Grant mural.
Have a motion, please?
Offer.
Offered by Mr. Sims,
Second.
second by Mr. Battaglia. Roll call, please?
Councilman Battaglia?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilman Sims?
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman?
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus?
Aye.
Resolution number 370-13, whereas Boswell Engineering, South Hackensack, New Jersey, has been awarded the Bergen County contract for the 2012 ADA Cooperative Engineering Design, and whereas the City of Hackensack wishes to participate in the countywide construction contract for the project known as the 2012 County Aid Curb Ramp Program, and is authorized by the local public contract law, whereas the City of Hackensack has passed resolution number 224-13, authorizing the city manager to enter into the ADA Cooperative Engineering Design Grant Agreement with the County of Bergen for designated reimbursements to the city for costs incurred in meeting ADA engineering design requirements on intersections on county roads, whereas the amount for this engineering project is $5,400. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the City of Hackensack authorizes the execution of this contract with Boswell Engineering, South Hackensack, New Jersey.
May I have a motion, please?
Offered.
Offered by Mrs. Greenman,
Second.
second by Mr. Sims. Roll call?
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 371-13, whereas the Hackensack Board of Education desires to secure school nurse services for certain Hackensack non-public schools from the city through an interlocal agreement in accordance with state statute, whereas the City of Hackensack's Department of Health can provide duly qualified personnel to carry out said school nurse services, and whereas the maximum amount of this agreement is $10,422, now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the city that the mayor and city clerk be and are hereby authorized and directed to execute an agreement with the Hackensack Board of Education to perform school nurse services for the period September 1st, 2013 through June 30th, 2014.
May I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Offered by Mrs. Canestrino,
Second.
second by Mr. Sims. Roll call?
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 372-13, whereas the New Jersey State Department of Health Office of Minority and Multicultural Health Services is offering grants to implement programs to reduce health disparities, and whereas the City of Hackensack's Department of Health is eligible to apply for these grant funds for the period December 1st, 2013 through August 31st, 2014. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council that Stephen Peters, health officer of the City of Hackensack, is authorized to make application to the New Jersey State Department of Health for the Community Health Disparity Prevention Program for a grant to run chronic disease self-management programs for the period December 1st, 2013 through August 31st, 2014.
Could I have a motion, please?
I offer.
Offered by Greenman, seconded by Battaglia. Roll call, please.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 373-13, be it resolved by the City Council that the proper officers be and are hereby authorized to make the following refund for the reasons stated. $25 is a refund for the Hackensack, from the Hackensack Health Department to refund to June SU.
May I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Offered by Mr. Battaglia,
Second.
second by Mr. Sims. Roll call?
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 374-13, be it resolved by the City Council that the proper officers be and are hereby authorized to make the following refund for the reasons stated. $125 refund for the Hackensack Junior Cheerleading Program is refunded to Mr. Dwayne Haskins, Hackensack, New Jersey.
May I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Mr.
Second.
Sims and Mr. Battaglia seconds. Roll call, please.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 375-13, whereas change order number 1 is needed for the 2013 road resurfacing program on purchase order 13-03296, whereas the total contract amount will decrease by $24,297.76 for a new total amount of $402,880.55. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council authorizes this change order number 1 in the amount of $24,297.76 for the 2013 road resurfacing program and be approved for New Prince Concrete Construction Company, Hackensack, New Jersey.
May I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Offered by Mr. Battaglia,
Second.
second by Mr. Sims. Roll call.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 376-13, be it resolved that the following individuals are appointed as special law enforcement officers in the city for the period of September 1st, 2013 through December 31st, 2013. Melissa Pena, Juan Duran Jr., Emilio Barroso, Suhand Palencia, Brian Monaco, Angie Martinez, Jose Celentano, Matthew Leah, Alexia Walters, Nicholas Mastroianni, Oscar Barrera, and Violeta Gonzalez.
May I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Offered by Mr. Battaglia,
Second.
second by Mrs. Canestrino. Roll call, please.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 377-13, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack that the proper officers be and are hereby authorized to make the following refunds for the reasons stated. And there are 2.5 pages, ending with amount $1,391 payable to CoreLogic.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Offered by Mr. Sims,
Second.
second by Mrs. Canestrino. Roll call, please.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 378-13, whereas in an effort to reduce New Jersey's reliance on institutional care, a task force on the closure of state developmental centers was created by the state legislature and charged with reviewing certain criteria of each of the state-operated facilities, including but not limited, I guess it should be not, it's including but not limited, to the local economic impact of losing a center. Whereas among the 7 state-operated facilities is the Woodbridge Developmental Center, a residential facility established in 1965, and whereas among the 7 state-operated facilities is the North Jersey Developmental Center, a residential facility established in 1930 for persons with developmental disabilities and located on 188 acre of campus in Totowa. Whereas in July 2012, the task force recommended that both of the centers be closed by 2017. Whereas the city of Hackensack is deeply concerned by the recommendation by the task force to displace these clients. Whereas the city of Hackensack is deeply concerned with the negative economic effect with the loss of approximately 2,600 jobs in the combined communities. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council that the city hereby expresses its disagreement with the finding and conclusion of the task force on the closure of developmental centers, opposes the closing of both centers as vital and valuable resources, and avers that all 7 state-operated developmental centers should be kept in operation.
May I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Offered by Ms. Greenman, seconded by Mr. Battaglia. Roll call, please.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 379-13, whereas the city of Hackensack has carried on its books old grant appropriations that were spent and not charged properly in the amount of $16,164.98, and whereas there are no offsetting receivables for these appropriations, and whereas it is necessary to cancel these outstanding balances and apply the funds to the current year's surplus, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council that the following outstanding grants are hereby canceled. 2010 drunk driving enforcement funds, $1,800.51. 2008 infrastructure preparedness, $1,500. 2007 enhanced 911 program, $9,828. 2008 emergency management assistance, $226.47. 2009 emergency management assistance, $750. 2011 matching funds for grants, $2,060.
May I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Offered by Mr. Battaglia,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Sims. Roll call, please.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 380-13, Be it resolved that the mayor and council of the city of Hackensack formally approves the submission of a grant and the execution of a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the Hudson Street Bikeways project application.
Have a motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
Offered by Mr. Sims, seconded by Mr. Battaglia. Roll call, please.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 381-13, be it resolved that the mayor and council of the city of Hackensack formally approves the submission of a grant application and the execution of a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the project entitled Improvements to Grand Avenue.
Have a motion, please.
I offer.
Offered by Ms. Greenman,
I'll second.
second by Mrs. Canestrino. Roll call.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 382-13, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack that the proper officers be and are hereby authorized to make the following refund for the reasons stated. $25 refund for the Hackensack Junior Lacrosse Program to Mrs. Millie Salerno.
May I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Offered by Mr. Sims, seconded by Mr. Battaglia. Roll call.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 383-13, whereas the City of Hackensack's Office of Emergency Management is in anticipation of sub-grant funding from the NJSP/OEM EMAA process, which is for the purpose of enhancing the City of Hackensack's ability to prevent, protect against, respond to, and recover from acts of terrorism, natural disasters, and other catastrophic events and emergencies. Whereas the application for a sub-grant award calls for a match in the amount of $5,000, which the City of Hackensack's Office of Emergency Management adequately satisfies through the 2013 City of Hackensack's approved budget for division salaries and wages and fringe benefits. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the City of Hackensack herewith accepts the award of the fiscal year 2013 Homeland Security Emergency Management Performance Grant Program Subgrant in the amount of $5,000 federal funds from the New Jersey State Police Office of Emergency Management.
May I have an offer, please?
Offer.
Second.
Offered by Mr. Battaglia, seconded by Mrs. Canestrino. Roll call, please.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 384-13, whereas Concrete Construction Corporation, South Hackensack, New Jersey, has been awarded the Bergen County contract for the construction improvements within the county, whereas the City of Hackensack wishes to participate in the countywide construction contract for the project known as the 2012 County Aid Curb Ramp Program, whereas the amount for this construction project is $121,000. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the City of Hackensack authorizes the execution of this contract with Concrete Construction Corp., South Hackensack, New Jersey.
May I have a motion, please?
Offered.
Offered by Ms. Greenman,
Second.
second by Mr. Sims. Roll call.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 385-13, be it further resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack that resolution number 311-13 dated July 22nd, 2013 is hereby rescinded in its entirety as it was a duplicate refund.
May I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Offered by Mr. Sims,
Second.
seconded by Mrs. Canestrino. Roll call.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Resolution number 386-13, whereas the City of Hackensack has a need for professional planning services for an area in need of redevelopment, investigative report for Block 302, Lots 4, 5.01, 5.02, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and the creation of a redevelopment plan in the event the above identified parcels are determined to meet the requirements as an area in need of redevelopment pursuant to state statute. And whereas DMR Heights Plaza, Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, submitted a proposal to the city to provide professional planning services, and whereas DMR has been previously qualified by the city through a fair and open process pursuant to state statute to provide professional services in the area of professional planning services. Whereas the City Council has determined that DMR is qualified to provide the services desired, now therefore be it resolved that the City Council hereby authorizes the contract with DMR, Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, for professional planning services for the city to be performed at Block 302, Lots 4, 5.01, 5.02, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Have a motion, please.
Offer.
Offered by Mr. Sims,
Second.
second by Mrs. Canestrino. Roll call, please.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. This time I'd like to open the meeting to the public. Could I have a motion, please?
Offer.
Offered by Mrs. Canestrino,
Second.
second by Mr. Sims. Roll call, or all in favor? Aye. Okay, at this time, if you'd like to, it's our public time in the meeting, if you'd like to get up and make a comment, step up to the podium, give the clerk your name and address. There's also a clipboard available if you have any questions that you might like to write down. All right? Good evening, sir. How are you?
I always say perfect, but no one noticed.
Okay.
I'm Dr. John McKinney, and I've been a Hackensack resident for 27 years. I live at the Whitehall. And we are here basically to thank you for what you have done to save our building, to save our neighborhood. There may be an argument that it was done to save Hackensack. I believe that what you have done has saved our building and saved our street, because the people who live in our building and our street, we would have moved out if you had not saved us from that LTAC, because that LTAC was going to go up and do nothing. And I think all of you would agree with that. They would have done nothing. And the only thing I can think is that they were there to make a buck, to make as much money as possible out of the people who needed that help. But there are places in Hackensack right now which we can provide that help. So I thank you again. And I think all of the all of the people in this building, in this room right now, should thank you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Is there anyone else who would like to get up to speak? Mr. Marcassani? With your tan?
One from column A and one from column B. Peter Marcassani, 65 Davis Avenue, Hackensack. I just was writing a whole bunch of stuff. It's just diarrhea of the mind, if you pardon the expression. And I don't know whether, since nobody wants to speak tonight, we have a lot of time, if there's anything that we could engage the council on that would make sense. Of the laundry list here, I just was noticing some of the bond issues. I went online, didn't use the search engine, but I was looking at all these bond things. I see the city had bonded a sum of money for the Anderson Street station. And I didn't know what that involved. I didn't know we had any interest in the Anderson Street station, unless it was streetscape around the property, or whether it was just, I thought it was Department of Transportation or New Jersey Transit.
Do you have a year on that, Mr. Marcassani?
No, I'd have to go onto the website and look at, it was part of the list of all the bond expenditures, the debt service and
For the
everything
Anderson
else.
Street train station?
Anderson Street, yeah. I'll have to look at it again.
I'd have to
I'll
see.
look it up and we'll get an email
I'd like to
out
see
of
it
that.
too, because I don't recall.
I don't know what it is. The one thing I had was Maywood garbage collection, the twice-a-week pickups, the news vending machines, director of development relative to the school system, and cops looking in holes. Again, that's the pet peeve with all the issues we
Right.
have in town. I don't know whether there's room for some discussion here, anything going on with the Maywood collection, the renewal of the contract. How is that pending?
Well, their contract is still existing, so it's not up for renewal yet, but we are in discussion with them right now.
Okay, in terms of the true cost of the
True cost,
service and
You know,
whether we're
it has to
charging
work
them enough
for
and
both
relative to
parties,
that.
basically.
The twice a week, still an experiment in a very, very limited area of town.
Well, we did the first and second wards, basically. The first ward,
Logistically, does it look good? I mean, is it something that we're just wishful thinking, or is that something that you think you can really move forward
no,
on
I
at
think we
this
can move
point?
forward on it. If it's successful, we plan on moving forward with it. And
Okay.
it seems to be the second day is kind of like a voluntary basis, but
I just didn't know, without smoke and mirrors, how you can go from once a week to twice a week. Obviously, it involves additional manpower and/or overtime
there's some
and/or.
gear shifting that needs to be done in order to
Okay,
get it done.
I mean,
but we
because if
can
it
do
can be done, I mean, the people who are working at the DPW and sanitation should be commended if they can lay out that type of a plan and do it effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And the intent would be, at this point, summer only, hot weather months, or,
You're looking probably May through September.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good information. The vending machine thing, I hate to say it, but Joe Ziza told us, you're really looking in the wrong direction with First Amendment, and it's gonna be a really can of worms if we pursue this. It was given to Malagier took the money, now we have an ordinance that, I see Mr. Scrivo is traveling incognito tonight, I'm sorry, but, nice to have a nice legal representation here. It seems awfully wordy. I mean, maybe he was paid by the word. It's really rambles on. I don't know. I mean, First Amendment, I'm trying to think of a way to say that freedom of speech does not guarantee the freedom of mechanical distribution anywhere and everywhere. And there's got to be a way, looking at other towns perhaps, that says, you can have mechanical vending machines for newspapers or other periodicals unless they are really limited by ordinance to specific locations within so many feet of a bus stop, approved
Right.
by address, by corner, without, this proliferation. You can have 5 in a row, and then you have to skip 20 feet and have 5 more. I mean, just the way it's written, it looks poorly laid out, and I think we're just gonna be spending a lot of money if we keep pursuing this thing. It's almost better to abandon it, in my opinion, rather than to move forward with it, unless we can come up with something that can pass muster and it is very, very restrictive. I mean, I don't know. I know I'm not making a lot of sense in
Well,
terms
I
of.
think the constitutional question, it comes up only because what goes in these news racks usually are newspapers.
Sure.
Are very big on free speech, so
Right.
I'm guessing that's where we really.
But there
have
has to be a
careful.
distinction between somebody standing on the corner selling papers, that's free speech, and somebody saying, I'm gonna put a mechanical device here to collect money so you can retrieve a
Well,
paper.
I don't see a big, I think one of the reasons, I mean, we're looking to clean up the way they look right now.
The proliferation
That's really-
and the condition.
Really, the goal here is to clean
Right.
up the way we have it now.
Right.
They're all different colors, they're all over the place, they're in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our ultimate goal. But in doing that, we have to protect ourselves also, so. that
Mm-hmm. No,
language has to be
I
in.
understand, and my time's up. But anyway, Director of Development working with the school board, because the Avalon project is gonna have no impact on the schools, and the development downtown, nobody's gonna have cars, nobody's gonna have kids. I think we really have to get Mr. Rotino, I guess, right, to work with the Board of Ed, make sure we get some teamwork going as to what their plans are for their own development plan that they're looking at now.
I agree, as
Okay.
the city grows, the school systems
Yeah.
have to.
And I
go
would
along
like to
with it.
see, and I don't know, I think there's a state requirement, but the idea of police officers accompanying Verizon and public service every step of the way when we have other issues here that are not being addressed, where even something as illegally parked trucks, I mean,
Right.
quality of life is not only the homeless, there's a lot of areas of quality of life that need to be addressed in Hackensack.
Well, the detail ordinance, it's almost like a separate entity because they're paid for directly by the vendor. and The vendor pays the city.
I understand,
for that. So
but it's still manpower, it's still
It's still-
overtime, it's still a
right.
fatigue factor, whole bunch of things. Anyway, thank
Correct.
you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Ruth Mauer, Newsstatter, 279 Hamilton Place in Hackensack. Well, first of all, I want to say that I don't know if I've said it, I don't think I have, that I'm very delighted that all of you are sitting where you're sitting, and that I can get up here and even speak says a lot. I gave up hope until now. So congratulations and thank you very much. Speaking of Anderson Street, I spoke about that a while back. And we really need to do something about that street. It is an embarrassment. I keep looking at the garbage receptacles and the so-called pots, for the plants that are just have garbage strewn in them, and the filth all over the place. I mean, it's just an abomination, and it used to be so beautiful. Maybe we need to get rid of those garbage receptacles and get something attractive. We need to fix up Anderson Street and make it what it was once, or at least bring it back to some kind of acceptability. I walk there every day, and it just breaks my heart. And there are cigarette butts. I go into the stores and I'll say, do you realize how filthy the front of your store looks? And that's another question. Who is responsible for cleaning up areas in front of these stores? We need to maybe send out notices to businesses and say that they are responsible for cleaning up the areas in front of their businesses. I mean, that is something to be looked into, and also the street cleaning. I don't quite see the street cleaning taking place as it should be. So garbage cans throughout the whole area. Anderson Street, First Avenue, Second Avenue, there is nothing, and there's garbage all over. Plastic is going into the sewers. I said this the last time. It has not improved. I kick everything away from the sewers because, as you probably know, our oceans are filled with plastic, and it's just a horrific environmental situation. And the city of Hackensack can do something about it. I have I'm an artist, and I would very much love to see the city of Hackensack become a place where people come. It's a destination city, and where we have coffee shops and galleries and maybe even a museum, things of that sort. That would be so wonderful to get that kind of thing back. We can't do anything until we get the city looking good. The city has to look good. I have two questions. I know I don't have much time, but I'm confused. From the last meeting, we were talking about the Director of Economic Development, and that there were people who were applying for the position. And the next day I read in the paper that Mr. Rotino, Anthony Rotino, received the position. Now, how did that happen from my being here in an evening, and the next day it was announced in the paper that he got the job? How was that? I'm confused by that.
When you were here, we were already in the midst of doing the search. We advertised the position. I received a number of responses for people who applied for the position. And when you were here, we had already done a number of interviews, and it was a matter of making a choice. The next day, the appointment was made.
But how did it get in the paper the next day? I mean, it must have been decided before that. It didn't look so good.
Well, no, I forget what the dates were, but the closing date for the receipt of resumes, I remember, was August 15th. That was the closing date. You were here at the council meeting. That was the 20-something, 21st, 22nd, whatever it may have been. So that's what I'm saying, that the process was already well underway when you were here at the meeting. I believe the appointment was made either the day or the second day after the last meeting.
It was 1 or 2 days later, and I think it was in the paper for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was the next day.
No, it was. I don't believe it was the next day, but we can look.
I think the appointment may have been made the next day, and it would have been in the paper and the second day after that.
Okay. I mean, from my memory, that was very concerning to me. And I'll just say very quickly, because I know my time is up, And I hope this is taken the right way, but as you know, we had 8 years of administration that was, in my opinion, that really pulled the city down. And our city manager is back with us again for another year. What I would like to know is who's running the ship here? Is the city council running the city? Or is the city manager running the city, and who's responsible? Because we don't want to have a repeat of what happened in the past 8 years, if you understand what I'm saying. If we have, I just want to know where all the decisions are being made. Are you working together? How is this happening? What is happening?
We are absolutely working together. In our form of government, it's a manager-council form of government. The city manager runs the everyday ins and outs of running this city. The decisions of governing and the rest of the decisions for the city are made by the mayor and the council. But when it comes down to the everyday nuts and bolts decisions and stuff like that, the city manager makes those decisions.
But how are you involved? Are you involved?
We're involved in conversations every day.
Okay.
Emails constantly.
So things are not going to happen unless you really know about them, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I just know that this Citizens for Change is still here.
And we're making changes as we are sitting here.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. My name is Marlene Graffin, 280 Prospect Avenue. I would like to talk about the intersections of Prospect Avenue and Passaic Street and Summit Avenue and Passaic Street. It's very difficult now. There are no left-hand turns coming up Passaic Street to Summit, and none coming down from Passaic Street, a left turn for Summit and Prospect. Anyway, the problem is, particularly with Passaic and Prospect, that there's so many cars coming up and being piled up by the fact that the turn can't be made, the left turn, that and the people coming up the hill block the intersection. They do not stop to make room for the people coming out of Prospect and going south. Since we've already made left turn accommodations on those two, we should make the other side also, the left-hand turn on the other side of the Summit and Prospect. I feel that that's important. The other thing is I'd like to know about is the roads. I know you repaved Euclid or something, I saw that in the paper. Prospect could use repaving. I'm sure a lot of others could too. I'm wondering what is going on with the repaving? Is there any movement in that area?
Yes, there is. Steve, you want to?
Yeah, on the repaving, we've just completed repaving, I believe it was 8 streets, Euclid among them. A judgment is made every year to see which streets need it the most, and then since most of our repaving, not all any longer, but most of our repaving is funded through grant programs. In many cases, certain streets qualify and certain streets don't qualify for the particular grant. So whether or not you're able to achieve funding for a particular street also comes into play.
So no matter how bad it is, if it doesn't qualify for the grant, we can't do it? Is that
No,
what you're
no,
saying?
that's not the case. And what happened is, all of the funding, all of the paving rather, up until 2 years ago was funded only through grants. We weren't really using any local money because of this situation. Now the council has funded a certain amount of money with local funds so that we can do streets that don't qualify for grants. But it's on an as-need basis. Now, you mentioned Prospect. Prospect could use some work, but this year, the others are really, far worse. I mean, Euclid certainly was a problem We put that off for a while because we were doing some sewer work under Euclid that may have entailed excavating or breaking up the road, and we didn't want to pave and then have to rip it up. It's a constant battle to get the right streets and kind of make that decision, meld with what's available in terms of funding, what's available in terms of what may be going on in the future. If we know that utility work, for instance, on a particular road, you don't want to pave it until after the utility work is done. So there's a lot that goes into it, but there is a lot of attention, not enough money. That's what it really
Yeah,
boils
but
down to.
These Prospect and Summit intersections, I think they're important, and they hold up traffic a lot.
The Summit Avenue, Summit and Passaic, and Summit and Central. Someone came here, whenever it was, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Those are county controlled traffic signals, and they did a study about the left-hand turns. Now they did change the signal and instituted the left turn if you're going south on Summit, making a left onto Passaic, and I also believe north on Summit, making a left onto Passaic. But they did not, because they felt it was not called for, institute the left-hand signal for Passaic approaching Summit from both sides, which is what apparently you're speaking of. Now Prospect and Passaic, I am virtually certain is our signal. So I've already made a note to look at that and have traffic look at that. But a left-hand, what they call a leading left is not always the answer. Sometimes it creates more problems than it solves, but I'll certainly going to refer that to traffic.
You made a left from down Passaic to make a left onto Prospect. Hardly anybody makes a left onto Prospect and Passaic. I mean, we really need it on Summit, and we also need on Passaic so that the traffic doesn't back up like that. I mean,
Well, the left onto Summit, and this is only from personal observation, is probably certainly more busier than the left onto Prospect. But left onto Prospect, I mean, from Passaic, there's still and again, traffic would have all those numbers after they do a study. But I bet you will be a considerable number because of the medical center and some of those medical buildings that are on Prospect. What would that be, south of Passaic? But I'm gonna refer that to traffic.
Yeah, that
But
would be.
on the Summit, the two Summit signals, we could ask the county to look again, but the likelihood of success is not good.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, Regina DePasqua, Parker Avenue. When Mr. Marcassani was talking about Anderson Street Station, could that possibly be the pumping station?
Oh, that could be.
Yeah, that's
Maybe, you
probably
could-
what
yeah,
the
not
pumping station.
Not the train station.
Yeah, it's a pumping station, okay? I know my city. And also what he was talking about with the news racks, I know there are other towns that identify specific streets, how many are allowed at a specific location, and the distance between each location, how many blocks, but only on certain streets, whether you wanted to go resident, what, not allowed in residential or whatever, but I know there are some that just say only on these streets are they allowed, and only, 2 at a location and, 6, 7 blocks in between, which would give you a better picture of where they're going. Just saying. Those were your issues that I addressed. Anyway, I was very happy to see that the paving, we're getting money back. I never saw that. I'm very happy to see that. The special police officers, those are regular age cops, not class 2, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What kind of improvements are Grand Avenue? What part of Grand Avenue? Up by Route 4?
In the vicinity of the Fairmont School.
Oh, by the school there, by the park and, okay, what are they?
There's just an application for a grant right now.
Okay.
That resolution was to give us the ability to apply for the grant, paving and pedestrian safety issues.
Okay. Yeah, that's like a very wide street that people fly down, so yes, pedestrian safety. The DMR, is that for Lot C? I wasn't here at the cow, so is that DMR hired for Lot C, all those blocks and?
150, 170.
150, 170 Main.
A 150, 170? Okay. What's going on there? I wasn't here for that either. What's it, 150, 170 Main?
Well, it's a possibility of a development there. And
Okay.
we're considering it, so we're gonna check out the redevelopment status.
Okay. Because that's like right around the corner, right? Okay. The grant, one of the other grants reminded me, we are at least considering maybe getting a CERT, Civilian Emergency Response Team, going? That would be helpful, like last year would have been helpful with Sandy, English-speaking Spanish.
The CERT program itself?
Yeah.
For the citizens?
Right. So,
Citizens
you know,
Emergency Response?
where, I know, I have a friend who does in Rochelle Park. The 2 days before, they were getting prepared, they were getting ready, they had the water, they had everything. And these weren't the, you know, city employees, even though they have volunteer fire department, but it was volunteer CERT people getting everything ready, notifying people, people that they knew had problems with flooding, whatever, knocking on doors, you know, going out and doing it. And
Dave, could you check with Officer Nyland? Because I know the county still gives the.
Yeah,
certification.
and, you know, in the follow-up meetings, which are continuing, following up on Sandy's response.
Right.
We've been, pursuing a stronger CERT, effort has been discussed a number of times. You know, what happens here, I mean, we're surrounded by successful CERT organizations. Rochelle Park has a strong CERT, Lodi has a very strong CERT, but they don't have HCOPs. The HCOPs draw from that pool of.
we could use both.
Yeah, we're talking about that, but that's one of the reasons why CERT is not that dominant here, because of the role of the HCOPs. And some of the people who would be, you know, be potential CERT members are HCOPs.
But the HCOPs aren't knocking on their neighbor's door saying, hey, you know, this is,
Well,
you know, what's going on.
HCOPs were doing that pre-Sandy, as far as notification, giving out flyers, and we had HCOPs doing that. That's the point, but it is being pursued.
Okay.
It's looked into anyway, John
Yeah,
Allen.
I think it's a good thing, and it works in other towns. I too was surprised to read, I think it was 2 days later, that the Director of Economic Development got a contract for $130,000, and I think that's a lot of money. And I still think we need a commission, an Economic Development Commission. And apparently one time you guys thought so too, because it's in here in your platform, and I could give you copies if you want. I have them here, but exactly what I was saying, to workable and fair redevelopment plan, we will institute a redevelopment commission, development, whatever, which will include citizens, elected officials, and development experts. And I just think really it should be to keep it open, transparent, the more people you have involved, the more open it is. The smaller the circle is, the less is shared. I think it's reasonable. I have just one more question on, you did the resolution last time approving all the attorneys and whatever, and also that the mayor could sign the contract. Will you be doing a resolution each time you sign a contract?
Mr. Morris? We'll have to sign.
For professional services,
For
yes.
professional service.
There will be another
Resolution.
resolution. That wasn't a blanket resolution covering everything.
No, that resolution authorizes the mayor to execute a contract with a particular professional service provider.
But will there be a resolution when he does that?
No, there won't.
That's not fair, and that's not open. That's not open. I'm sorry, and you guys know that that's how we found out things when you were hiring an attorney. That's what I thought of when I saw that. It's keeping us out of the loop. We won't know when you're hiring an attorney if you don't do a resolution when you're hiring them.
Morris?
The professional contract is a public document, which is available.
But how do we know there is one if there's no resolution?
That's within the purview of the council, how they want to handle that.
We can do it. I have no problem doing it by.
I think that's how it should be
That's
done
not-
each time you hire.
I have no problem.
Okay.
with Resolution.
I'm pretty sure you didn't realize that's how it read.
Our goal is not to keep the public not aware of who we're
Correct.
hiring. Our goal is to qualify people to hire. That was
Right.
our goal.
Right, but I realized the way it was written
Right.
that, hey, you don't have to do another one. And I was pretty
More
sure
than-
that's
more than
how it
happy
was
to do a
written.
Resolution.
Okay,
Put them in.
thank you.
All right.
Kathleen Savo, 184 Hudson Street. The CERT is different than the HCOPs. We need the HCOPs help, but the CERT people know the neighborhood. I remember being in Florida and calling my fire department to evacuate East Kennedy because it goes underwater, and they don't know it, because we have new people coming in all the time. And the only way people remember it is if they went through it, and when you have new people, they don't. So CERT people would be neighborhood people. And I also remember calling and getting, in fact, Monica was the only one answering the phone, to get people to knock on the doors to get all the cars off of East Broadway, because that's my neighborhood and I know it happens. So I think we should have CERT and we should have HCOPs. The HCOPs could aid the CERT people who know the neighborhood very well. The other thing is about this grant on the bicycle. Just keep the bicycles off the sidewalk. There's not going to be any place to put a bicycle thing. It's just arrogant people riding their bicycles on the sidewalk, and they shouldn't. The real people that know about bicycle etiquette do not ride on the sidewalk. So we just need to enforce that law. I wouldn't even waste the money on that grant. I still have the question about the $5,000 that we gave to Molly Jerry, and I just think it was just to procrastinate putting this thing back to effect. Did we ever find out what we got for that $5,000? What happened to it? We paid him $5,000 to rewrite this newspaper stand. 2 years later, we still didn't get anything, but we paid him. So are we going to go back and...
The council asked me to get the body of work he performed, which I...
Yeah, because I don't know. We just paid him not to put it back into effect. And the whole thing about that was so that they can put these newspaper stands all around. Forget the First Amendment. It has nothing to do with it, because every town has the same rule, or basically the same. So that's my concern there. What else did I want to talk to you about? The $5,000. And I too agree with Regina. If you have a director of redevelopment, it's got to be directing somebody, and it needs to be a committee. It needs to be, like I told you, we did it with Peter Tucci. We did it when we had that other redevelopment committee. It needs to be made up with people so they can bring in people from, like, citizens that said, how is this going to affect the schools? We're putting apartments. They're going to have 2 bedrooms. They're going to bring us two people in the school system, and our schools are bulging with too many students now at a cost of, what, $14,000 per pupil? So it's going to be counterproductive. We're going to get revenue from the application from the facility, and it's going to cost us more in enrollment fees. Already I heard that Fairmount has about 4 families that came forward to enroll their kids to school from the one all the way up by Bloomingdale's, and that's only 1/3 occupied. So anytime it has 2 bedrooms, you're going to generate kids. So we have to find out what's happening. So I hope you really reconsider about making a committee for that. Trash, the fire, the M&M. I guess my time is not up yet. Wow, that's the first. I think that's it. And thank you guys for what you're doing for us. Thank you. That's the first.
Thank you.
F.J. Williams here again. I'm a New Yorker, and I'm just trying to find out some things that I don't know. But I just, like the lady was talking about Anderson Street. Now, I see you got, in New York City, you can't put the same type of business in the same type of building next door to each other. You do that in Hackensack. Now, I noticed there's about 4 or 5 barbershops in that short period of space of Anderson Street. I never seen that before. I'm saying, where does people park? Where do they go? If everybody goes, about 2 barbershops are right next door to each other. I never seen that before. And most landlords in the city, they say, no, you can't put the same kind of business in the same kind of building next door to each other. I'm just curious. I don't know how you do it here at Hackensack. The other thing is, when the police go to, I noticed on the lady, I saw this on YouTube, she was saying about her son come home at night and she was at work at night. Now, I'm from the other side of the fence. Sometimes, there were times I didn't agree with the police. Sometimes they're aggressive and sometimes they do their job. A lot of times I see things that's happening because I'm going out all the time at nights. And she says her son is never getting it. I called the police one time, something was going on, and the police came and checked, but then they traced the phone call. They came back and jumped the fence and went in the wrong house. I see sometimes people with guns. I can't call. I have 2 phones, but I have to be careful what phone I call from, because when they ask me where, I say, you know what phone I'm calling, you know where I am. So sometimes I tell them my name, and sometimes I call people in New York and tell them to call this number and tell them check this particular thing. And the other thing is, schools. You don't see it. I don't know whether you have anybody here to check people's residence. But when I come from New York, and I see it, I know where they pick them up at. At the George Washington Bridge, there's a van that comes here every day during the school year with a load of kids that they get there from this factory on GRP on Green Street. I follows it a lot of times because, like I said, I'm out there late at night or early in the morning. They come here, they sit in this factory till the school's open at about 7:30, and everybody goes down to the school on, what's that, middle school down on Union Street. And then when they get out of school, they always go back to the factory and they get back in the vans and they go. And to me, I'm paying for this. Why I gotta pay for it? I mean, that don't make no kind of sense to me. And that's what I was curious. And the other thing is, one important thing, I know I shouldn't be saying this, but the women here, now you're trying to make Hackensack a better place, but the people and the fellas walking with their pants down on the below their, always their knees. There's a town in South Jersey, they passed an ordinance, if you wore your pants 3 inches below your waist, there was a fine for that. And I mean, here, I'm not the good guy now, but they should do something about that in Hackensack because I see guys coming, their drawers are dirty, and they just, I mean, it's ridiculous. And you got women, and you want to make this a better place, you got to start right now before it gets out of hand. I don't know whether you're violating their civil rights or not, but you got to give the police some kind of way to, you know, because when they say, oh, you violating my civil rights, I don't know, but it's just for the women's here. You're looking at a guy's drawers, you don't want to look at it, you don't know whether it's his drawers or his pants. I just curious about those questions, and specifically the one with all these shops in that one block area. There's so many barbershop. I can't say about the churches. Hackensack getting like New York. There were so many churches and liquor stores in New York for a while, you didn't know which was which. But I just was curious about it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Roll them. Okay, we're on. Ma'am?
Okay,
Ann,
we're on.
we ready for
Did you
you?
want to say something?
Yeah, I don't know if this is the right venue because I'm an advocate, a very strong advocate of the left hand does not talk to the right hand.
Okay.
And this is very frustrating. So one of the things was in the resolutions, you talk in legalese. And when you talk about the resolutions, I have no idea what you're talking about. Could you put a line in there that gives us a summation of what the resolution is about rather than all these numbers and all that kind of stuff?
Could you be more specific on any certain resolution, or because?
No, it was pretty much all of them. And then, and there's, what was it, SBJ, the refunds? What the hell does that stand for?
That's a
State board
statute.
judgment.
I'm sorry?
That's a state board judgment. State statute, state board
Tax
judgment.
board.
Oh, okay.
Board judgment.
Okay. I also babysit the polls during the elections.
Okay,
First of all, we'd like a raise.
that's the county. Wrong place.
Somebody be an advocate. The other thing is, in terms of, it is my understanding that in order to become a citizen of this country, you have to be able to speak the English. Well, when we go to the polls, we got a poster for Korean, we got a poster for Spanish, we got a poster for English. If these people are citizens to vote, why do we need a poster in the native language? And when I talked to somebody at the election board, they said it's the census thing. So if there's more than 5% of the population in that town, you got to have a poster in that language. If they have to speak English enough to be able to take an oath, I don't understand this.
You have a lot of citizens of the United States that speak limited English.
Yeah.
That need that guidance in their language in order to vote. I mean, it's, you know, otherwise you're going to have a lot of people never exercising their right to vote. You know, I'm all about everybody learning the English language when they come to the United States. I think it's very important. But I can see the need for, especially in voting.
So this means that you don't have to be particularly proficient in English in order to be a citizen.
the word proficient is, yeah. When it comes to voting, I don't know, I think if you're a citizen, we have to do our best to get people out to vote.
I have no problem with getting people out to vote. I just don't understand why we have to. Now, Teaneck has 5 posters. They've got Japanese and something else, too, besides the 3 that we have here in Hackensack. And I understand diversity, but...
That's a tough call. But
Yeah?
I'm going to err on the side of the citizen on that one myself.
Because we
That's
get
just an
people,
opinion.
you know, thank God that we have a lot of people. I do the middle school, and we have the poll workers come from the Baptists and the Spanish and the whatever. So there's always somebody who can communicate with them. But it still strikes me as real odd that they,
Well, I don't know that there's any prerequisite that you have to master the English language in order to become a citizen. That's my take, so you know.
I don't know. I keep asking, but I'm not getting a real clear answer because nobody seems to know what the right hand is doing if they're a left hand.
Do you have to speak English?
You have to read and understand. You actually, when you take,
oath?
before you take the oath, you have to read a paragraph and speak about what you read. You have to be able to communicate. But we can't do anything about it, Ann.
Talk to somebody.
We're the wrong venue.
We what?
We're the wrong people to speak to.
I said this may be the wrong venue, but you're in the state government. You
We'll
know.
pass it along.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? Seeing none, can I get a motion to close the meeting to the public, please?
I'll offer.
Offered,
Second.
second by Mr. Sims. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
At this time, we find it necessary to,
Comments by the
oh, I'm sorry. Keep forgetting us. At this time, are there any comments from the council? We'll start with you, Ms. Greenman.
Just want to thank you, everyone, for coming and participating in this democracy. It's wonderful to see it. I love that you question us and you don't leave us alone and you don't let us fail you. And I hope you're going to continue doing that. Thank you.
Mr. Sims?
Today was the first day of school for some of the charter schools, and I was out watching the kids get on the buses. And last week I took some kids to see the Liberty play thanks to All-American Ford, so today was a good day for me.
Good. Mr. Battaglia?
Thank you for coming. I just want to let you know the person that was questioning about if we check the residence of the kids. We got like about 6 police officers that are supposed to do that. Okay, so the Board of Education has to look into that particular complaint that somebody's coming with a van from New York and this and that. It's something that the Board of Education should be checked because it costs the city a lot of money because the money that the Board of Education is getting is from us. Come from the same packet, okay? So that's the only thing I have to say. Thank you for coming again.
Ms. Casper?
I'd just like to address, I guess, a couple of things that the residents brought up tonight. First one, there was some talk about, the LTAC appeal and people that were in favor of that. And, absolutely, we're all about redevelopment and development in our town, but we're all about responsible development and redevelopment in our town. And I think, the judge took into consideration the fact that this facility did not belong on Prospect Avenue. And aside from quality of life issues, there were also many safety concerns that were brought forward. And, we feel that he certainly ruled on behalf of the residents of the community, and it was a good decision for us. Looking at other parts of the city, lots of questions tonight, talk about Anderson Street. And again, looking at responsible development and redevelopment, what's our potentials of Anderson Street? And I agree with you very much that, I've driven there after your last comments and I've looked at it, and there's lots of need for improvement there. And if we're going to be selling our city and looking for redevelopment, we want to sell it the right way it should be sold. And that kind of leads into the third issue that kind of predominated the evening, which is our Director of Economic Development. He actually is filling 2 roles, not just the Director of Economic Development, but also that of redevelopment.
And I appreciate your questions about the timing, et cetera. But if you think back on this process, to have this ordinance, to put this position in place, this ordinance was heard at 2 different council meetings. I don't know if you're aware of that. And that there was a time span, it took place over a couple of months. So being proactive, once we knew that this was something we were going to be pursuing, and once we had that first hearing, we started collecting resumes right away. And we also started doing comparative analysis of other similar sized cities and communities that were faced with the prospects of being on the crux of redevelopment. And it may have seemed that that decision was made rather quickly, but it really had been going on during that entire time. Our city manager had posted the positions, he had good resumes, he did interviews, and I think I think we all supported him making the decision that he made. I just want to reassure everyone in this room that this director of redevelopment and economic development is not working in a vacuum. This isn't a one person sitting in a room making a decision. And we have, a planner that works with him. We have the whole building department that's working in conjunction with him. He certainly is working very closely with our city manager, and actually 2 of our council members are liaisons to that redevelopment activity as well. So this may not be the commission that you're describing, but this is not a function that is being created or operated by a single entity and a person working in a vacuum. All the resources of the city are certainly there for him to take advantage of in moving forward. And I also agree that there has to be concerns of looking at the impact of this redevelopment. And one of the first things that we did as a city council, and we talked about this as a group, is people that are proposing new development in the city of Hackensack must submit to us a fiscal impact analysis. So they must, before we will even consider, for example, tonight, we approved going forward with a study for 150, 170 Main Street. Before we even made that decision, we had a preliminary fiscal impact analysis, which talked about what is the impact to the city, infrastructure support, schools, et cetera. So this information is being collected, and this is new for us. And this is a step, I believe, in the right direction. And the coordination with the school systems has to be there, but we cannot, I believe, stifle growth because we're afraid to grow. We have to grow together as a community, and we have to support that growth because it's for all of us. It's for all of our benefits, and it's for all of our futures. So I hope you'll continue to support us. Give us a little time. We're only in office a couple of months, and we're growing slowly but surely and steadily. And keep a little faith in us, and I think you're going to be pleased. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Councilman. I'm going to reflect on that a little bit myself, especially the growth part. Everybody, we're getting a lot of concerns about the school situation, and we should be concerned. But again, how do you grow your city if everybody's afraid to do anything because kids are going to come into town? Obviously, it has to be addressed, but that's for the Board of Education, the school system, to grow along with the city. These buildings, whether they're pilot programs or not, we're putting some things in place that the schools will be getting tax money if it is a pilot program, where in most cases they wouldn't. We're about growing the city and the school system, but we can't do both. We can supply the growth of this city, and the Board of Education is going to have to, start taking a serious look. I mean, they're saying the schools are overcrowded now. I mean, so they should be taking a look anyway. Moving forward, we again, the word responsible development came up. We're looking for responsible development that's good for the city and good for the developer. It has to work both ways. If it doesn't work for the city, obviously, we're not going to let it happen. And that's what happened with LTAC. Didn't work for the city, and we fought it. And I've got to be honest, too. I got to give everybody credit, from the past council through this council. Everybody, there were disagreements between a lot of people in this town, but everybody was on board with that, and everybody stuck to their guns, and we got that thing beat so far, and hopefully it stays like that.
There's a dialysis center on Second Street.
Yes, there is, but moving forward, though, we have to get this development going. The timing is here, they're coming here, they're interested in the city. I mean, we as a council, what do we tell them? Oh, go away because you might have kids come in. Don't bother coming here. What do? We have to rebuild or build this city. That's our goal, okay?
Consider teaching basic skills.
Well, that's Board of Ed. But again, on a different note, last week we actually had a rodeo in Hackensack. We had bull riding, we had country western music. I was there all day. I was there from 11:30 till 9 o'clock at night, 9:30 till the fire. Had a great fireworks display at the end of the night. Weather was perfect. Unfortunately, the turnout wasn't as good as we would have liked. I know it was hard to get out there, but it was on the radio stations, it was on our website, it was in the newspaper, but, you know, next year they'll know a little better on how to get it out there a little more to the public. But it was a great event. It was interesting. You know, it's one thing you never thought you'd see in your life were bulls in Fashini Park.
Yeah, it wasn't a city event.
Oh, and yes, it wasn't a city event. It was the PBA, Police Benevolent Association, with the proceeds, where some of the proceeds were going to Autism Speaks. So it was a great event. Next year, I hope they do it again. I hope they advertise a little better, because I had a great time. But and that's it for the night, folks. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, at this time, we find it. Where's our clerk?
I think she had to go with her mom, maybe.
Oh, yeah?
I saw her had to leave.
Okay.
Steve, did Deb have to leave?
Deb had to leave?
Debbie had to leave?
She had to leave? Oh, jeez. All right.
So how do we close the office? How do we?
Well, we're going to go in the back. Yeah, I make a motion to go into closed session, please.
I'll offer.
Offered.
Second.
Second by Mr. Battaglia. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, at this time, we'll be going into closed session. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Night.